Jacquees, where are you landing on it? First of all, is he the king?
Come on.
Is he
Let me give you some other titles, okay?
Okay.
The shift lead.
The night manager of
R&B?
R&B?
Manager of R&B. Okay. Weeknights. Not even
the weekend.
Not even weekend. Now, Wednesday, Jacquees, you get in there on Wednesday.
You are the guy.
Midnight to 3, you on the White Castle. He's the night shift leader of R&B at a White Castle in suburban Illinois. So for that amount of money, they could have got Ja Rule to perform indefinitely.
He could have did his whole disc.
Ja Rule.
He would have had a residency in India for the next 3 years.
Ja Rule would have been living at their house making omelets. The way you walk, the way you talk, I'm real. Yo, what? I want peppers. Peppers, pick it up. I'm real. I got Ashanti. Ashanti coming out. She got blueberry muffins. For what they paid Beyonce, Ja Rule's still perforing in 2021.
Off the rip.
He's still there right now.
Up
I'm you know that toilet plugged on the second floor. I'm gonna take care of that.
I'm gonna cut the grass.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make some couscous.
Yeah,
sushi.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take the baby to school. Y'all need anything from the store? What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage with my good friend
Doughboy. New nickname alert. I don't even have one, but I'm Doughboy.
Come on, man. You gotta have a
I've been
nickname.
slipping as of late. I have. I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta have it.
I don't have one.
Anyway, if y'all know anything about us two sitting next to each other, it's Righteous and Ratchet time. This is a video series that we did 6 episodes of.
6 episodes. We had a little run.
In 2016.
We just lost Steve.
And stopped. A cold, hard stop.
And the best part is we shot them all and then we didn't even talk about it. Like, we didn't even stop. It just never happened again. Go to work, man.
So what happened now is I ain't got no job now. So I got plenty of time to talk trash with my good friend, Anthony Doughboy.
Yeah, and we can just use it as an excuse for me to come over because we're going to be friends in real life.
We're going to be friends for real, and you do know that.
You get a text from me every morning, so I'm pulling up.
Yes, Righteous and Ratchet is because we're all a little bit righteous and a little bit ratchet. I'm a little bit righteous.
A little bit ratchet.
A lot.
Used to be a lot of more, but now I'm a little bit less.
A little bit.
So, and it just sounds good. It just rolls off the tongue aesthetically.
And at first we were talking about a lot of religion stuff.
It was all religion. It was like,
and that's probably why we stopped. Because we only had 6 episodes.
And I stumped you every time. You were just like, oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't going to lie.
Right. So now we can just open it up and we can just talk about all things pop culture, all things in the world, and we're just going to keep the name.
We're keeping the name because we couldn't think of nothing else.
That's basically where we're at with it. Here we go. Are you ready to talk about
I'm ready.
hot topics of the day?
And listen, before we go into the hot topics,
yes.
Guys, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of nothing. Some days it'll be hot topics. Some days it'll be cold topics. Some days it'll be whatever.
Or if it was for you, it'd be hot chocolate topics. It's your ingredient.
A little bit of roasting shall commence. But we always just going to be talking about something. You do know that. All right.
Feel me?
Doe. What
Twitter,
is the topic?
Twitter exploded today.
Yes, it did.
Because Jacquees, is that the right way to say it?
Jacquees.
Yeah, that way. He said that he is the current king of R&B.
And then for clarity, he said, I'm not talking about people who come before me. He ain't claiming that. He's talking about right now. He's the king of R&B. What were your initial thoughts at said claim?
Boy, is you crazy? No, like, I know he got the one song, the Bed joint. I'm not saying he's a
that's Jay Holiday.
No, he has a song called Bed.
Jacquees?
Yeah, B-E-D with me, he, but slowly.
Okay, let me be honest with you up front.
If it ain't Kirk Franklin, you don't know it?
No, I know it.
If it ain't Stop?
I know nothing. The first thing that Jacquees came onto my radar was people making fun of him. That meme. And I thought it was Quavo at first.
Right.
And then he remade LMA's song.
And then they shut it down, right?
And they shut it down and he can't. And then the third thing I hear is he's the king of R&B. It's a big jump, if you ask me. I never heard none of his songs on the radio. So
no songs, you did somebody else's song, I'm the best to ever do this. That is a quick ascension to the top. What did you do to get there?
Crown me now.
Yeah.
Now, my initial thought was...
Bro, you tripping.
Old school people first. But then I had to rewatch the video because I was upset.
Okay.
Because R&B is near and dear to my heart.
Right. Ribs and biscuit?
No. Rocks and blunts. That's actually the first thing I thought of. You remember that bit from Jamie Foxx? Yeah. Because he was upset that Bobby Brown called himself the king of R&B. Jamie Foxx was.
Right.
Rocks and blunts?
Yes.
Ribs and brisket? So Jacquees, at least Bobby Brown was platinum.
At least in the argument. At least you can say... you can see and identify why he would think.
Bobby Brown?
Yeah, because he was the man in his day.
Absolutely.
And he was messing with Janet Jackson.
And Whitney Houston.
So that was he was winning.
Here's why I couldn't give, and I'm all for you being confident, okay? Right. But in order to be the king of any, first of all.
You gotta have, does he have an album out? Be the king of an album release. First. Before we scale you against other artists.
The other people have had at least a hit song.
Right.
That they are the sole person.
Right.
I know Jacquees is always like flipping other people's songs. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's how people get in the game.
But what's
cover
your
story?
song?
But what is your song? What's your claim to fame? How do you establish yourself that's unassociated with anybody else?
Right.
Number two, have you sold a lot of albums? Kings are kings because they dominate. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you this. People don't sell albums no more.
True.
So you should be streaming like crazy.
Right.
You should be
know,
festival.
When you think about him, you should at least know a couple of songs. Be like, oh, he does whoop, whoop, and whoop.
Yeah.
You like, he does, huh?
He does
He does have a big song, though, the bed song. In my BED, grinding slowly.
I ain't gonna hold you.
You ain't heard it?
Never came across my periphery.
So then let's talk about this. So if we don't scale him against the old legends,
we can't.
Is he even better than? So who's the king of R&B right now?
If I had to say who's currently making music,
currently the king,
and puts up some numbers, I would have to say Chris Brown.
That's the easy
Chris Brown
go-to.
First of all, okay, here's the hard part. Nowadays, people aren't like pigeonholed into I make R&B only.
Right.
Like Bruno Mars will make some R&B songs.
Now, is he considered R&B?
I think he's more pop.
Okay.
I think he's absolutely more pop.
No.
So Bruno Mars will make an R&B song, pop song, whatever. John Legend.
Okay.
I mean, John Legend, he lives.
I feel like he hasn't done something in so long.
He just did a Christmas album.
A Christmas album?
John Legend got a Christmas album.
Side note,
But John Legend been popping in other categories.
Right.
Like the boy got an EGOT. What you mean?
What's it? I don't know what
you know what EGOT is? He got an Emmy. He got a Grammy. He got an Oscar and a Tony. He got the Oscar. The Emmy, I think, was for Jesus Christ Superstar producing. Grammy, obviously, he got a Grammy. Okay. I don't know exactly for it, but that's obvious. Right. The Oscar was for Glory, Selma, and the Tony was, maybe that was for, I don't know.
So he's only one of a few people that I'm assuming
there's like 12 or 13 people. 2 or 3 blacks. I think him, Whoopi Goldberg, and I can't even name him.
But I don't even know.
And he's the youngest to do it, by the way.
I don't even know if you could put him in the argument for R&B because he doesn't.
John Legend?
Yeah.
Well, John Legend was talking about it, and he said he doesn't even know if there's anybody he could put in because the biggest artists are, according to John Legend, The Weeknd and Bruno. But he was saying he doesn't think they fit neatly into R&B.
They don't.
Like
right?
When I think of R&B, I think of 90s R&B was very defined.
Right. You know
and R. Kelly dominated that. If there's anybody,
so is he the king of R&B in
R.
general?
Kelly?
Like per quo?
Yes. R. Kelly?
R. Kelly.
Yes. He's got a tainted asterisk because he's a terrible person. He's an awful pedophile.
Right.
But even if you just take a look at the songs R. Kelly wrote for other people, it's longer than the list of what Jacquees has done.
Right.
And I don't mean to like down Jacquees. I just don't like when people. Nobody should say
jump
I'm
out
the king.
the window.
Yeah, no.
And you should never call yourself the king.
People should anoint you. So old school is easily R. Kelly to me. Outside of him being awful.
Over D'Angelo?
Bro, do you know how many hits R. Kelly has?
Yeah, he do. He does.
Bro, R. Kelly had hits.
Because now when I think about, so I mean, wait. So is Michael Jackson R&B?
King of pop. He called.
Is Prince R&B?
No, I don't think Prince really classified as R&B music.
So when you say
he probably was considered pop as well.
But when you consider R&B, who are you comparing R. Kelly against?
Boyz II Men.
So he's better than the groups. He's better than Jodeci.
Yeah. R. Kelly writes.
He does.
R. Kelly got everything from 12 Play all the way to Trapped in the Closet. Nobody before or since did anything like Trapped in the Closet. In the first 4 chapters.
The first 5 chapters was amazing.
First 4.
By the 8th chapter,
by the time the little
midgets coming out the
that's
sink.
where
It's like,
I got
okay, we got midgets
and then
in the
there was
sink.
like 30 more after.
Like, okay, Robert, relax, bro.
But the first 4?
The first 5 was lit.
First
all the way,
5.
Oh my God, a rubber? I was like,
okay, I'll give you the first 5.
Yeah, the first 5 was
I Believe
lit.
I Can Fly.
I Believe I Can Fly.
Okay.
Yes. TP2.com, the whole album.
So
okay, so we'll
but
get
he's
that
also
to
awful. I want to make that clear.
Right,
R. Kelly's a terrible person.
Right.
Not celebrating him as a human being.
Right,
he is
just
god awful.
But just stat wise,
he's like OJ. You were really good. at football. You got records.
That's actually
then you are a very terrible person, and I really don't want to talk about your records because you're awful. If I could strip your records because of your personality,
then you would.
I would, because you're terrible.
So as far as the slate right now goes, the only other person, the name that pops out to you or hops off the paper is Chris Brown? Because as much as this is going to sound...
Now, you're talking about my personal?
Justin Bieber. Justin
he makes
Bieber
more
gets...
pop music, though. The Purpose album was R&B-ish.
Right.
And he had a whole bunch of R&B singers writing for him. A whole bunch of, like, black R&B singers.
So does Usher not even get in this conversation?
And that's what I was going to say. R. Kelly's probably biggest competition is Usher. But they kind of, like, staggered each other.
Right.
But Usher was Confessions albums alone.
Usher was the guy for a minute.
Usher, and that's my thing with Jacquees. Usher is still alive.
Yeah.
Still making music. So it's
his
hard.
His music is still bumping.
Yeah. But he was saying, but I wouldn't put Jacquees and Usher in the class of the same musicians right now.
Right.
And that's what I think Jacquees was saying. The people before me, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about new artists. So, but for me personally, Daniel Caesar.
I'll be rocking
At least Daniel Caesar has some super well-written R&B songs that he wrote.
And I think that...
And he got a fire album. Freudian is great.
I feel like that's also brings more light to the situation. Now we just don't have that many great R&B singers anymore.
Well, that's the thing. That's
when you really get into it, it's
pure R&B. I don't think people are making pure R&B.
Right.
But Daniel Caesar is really close. And if you were to talk about women,
who are we talking about?
Her
is lit. Her
just
is lit. I like the LMA girl too.
LMA is great.
LMA is dope.
SZA's great.
SZA's dope. So it's a lot more to talk about women.
I mean, even if you're talking about me, you got Xavier Omar who's making a lot of great music.
And that's the dude that was... Didn't he have a different name before?
Spazzy Rocket.
Spazzy Rocket.
Xavier Omar's making a lot of great music. Great pen. For me, if you're gonna be the king, you gotta be writing it.
Right.
Original.
No, not in R&B. It's different for R&B.
No, it's not.
It's like that for
rap. For rap. But for an R&B, I give you extra bonus. Rap, personally...
And does Chris Brown write? I think he does.
I mean... Music is a collaborative effort. Right. So you can write some and have other people. But Chris Brown, the thing about him over Jacquees is Chris Brown can dance as well. And there's a performance element to R&B. Usher was putting on a performance. That's something he had way over R. Kelly. R. Kelly's performances, you see him now, it's just like a lot of grinding and like wipe my beard. It's gross.
It's really...
Usher was singing. He was dancing. He was in the rain. And has Jacquees ever been in the rain? Has he had an R&B section in the rain? Where's your In the Rain music video?
I don't even know.
Where's your memorable music video?
But does Chris Brown really have memorable music videos?
Let me see. Yeah.
That's one thing that I think that he does get overlooked. We don't remember that he's been a star since he was 15 years old.
Chris Brown has been famous for a long time.
A very, very long time. So,
also, domestic abuser.
See, and then there's things that you don't like about him as a person.
Absolutely domestic abuser. And so it's hard for me to root for him. Right. But at the same time, if you're just talking about somebody's catalog, Jacquees.
But does okay, we can put a button on this and then move on. But does Chris Brown have a classic album? I know he got great songs, and I'm not saying he don't.
Well, the thing that's hard for me, I feel like Chris Brown was making R&B music for a consumer that wasn't me at the time.
Right, he was making it for kids.
Yeah. Right. So I can't tell you I really studied his albums, but singles, he had a lot of great ones. Right. He was great in Stomp the Yard.
That's part of your argument with Chris Brown?
His rendition of This Christmas, I love.
Side note, totally unrelated. Did you know that Mariah Carey wrote All I Want for Christmas?
Yes. I just
Is that not like, did that not sound like a remake the whole time?
I saw Dragonfly Jones tweeted this. He said, I didn't know there was no new Christmas songs after 1958.
For real? I thought it was
She just hit the pin like, you know what the world needs?
And I heard she makes bread off that to this day.
Every year.
That's just...
Come Thanksgiving, she like, oh, it's about to be my time. Because that's probably everybody's top 3 Christmas songs. Top 5
I to this whole time, I thought that it was just an old song. But it was something that she had this. Let's put this in the envelope and then ask. Jacquees, where are you landing on it? First of all, is he the king?
Come on.
Is he
let me give you some other titles, okay?
Okay.
The shift lead.
The night manager of R&B?
Night manager of R&B. Okay. Weeknights. Not even
the weekend.
Not even weekend. Now, Wednesday, Jacquees, you get in there on Wednesday.
You are the guy.
Midnight to 3, you on the White Castle. He's the night shift leader of R&B at a White Castle in suburban Illinois.
So he's not the king. And so for right now, as far as the current king, we're safe in saying that
I think
Chris
it's
Brown.
Chris Brown. And a person that doesn't get known. He doesn't get named enough personally to
Anthony
me.
Hamilton?
No, I like Anthony Hamilton. Music Soul Child is one of my favorites.
Maybe he started rapping recently.
You know what he's been doing lately?
Yeah,
I just don't pretend to say it.
I feel like we lost him. Like I feel like he could have been great.
Once he had the fitted fedora, with the snapback,
not really no coming back from fitted fedoras. So we're saying he's definitely not the king, and
night manager shift lead.
But he could get his discography up, and then maybe we can put him in the conversation.
Highly doubt it.
Okay.
That's just me. I highly doubt I'm gonna be like, now Jacquees doesn't came around.
Jacquees.
Because if you're the king, is my last thought on this.
Right.
If you're the king, everybody knows your name.
Right.
I
don't even know how to spell
It's fair
Jacquees.
to say, it's got 4 E's.
Right.
It's fair to say, even if he was on trajectory, it's too early in the game for him.
How long has he been around? Like 2 years now?
I told you.
I don't know a lot of things about him.
Jacquees Cousteau, I know.
But maybe he could be doing the T.I. thing. Remember T.I. came out, I'm a king of the South, and even though you didn't know that.
But see, that's different though, because T.I. came out with some bangers.
So we gotta get some more
bangers. And also, R&B has been around for a long time, so people are very particular about it.
And we're very picky and very...
Yes.
I understand.
Trap music was new, so T.I. could say that. It's like, king of the South, and it's just like, people just didn't really care to argue. Right. If T.I. had said, I'm the king of New York, or the king of L.A., people would have been up in arms. Because those have a longer history.
But him to say king of the South, it really wasn't a lot. He said that back in 06, 05. Okay. Yeah. Well, moving on from one R&B singer who is not as defined to one that we definitely don't have to have any questions about. Beyonce recently performed at a private wedding. Mm-hmm. I guess my question is, how much money do you got to have to pay Beyonce to perform at your wedding? Do we have any details on who this person was?
All I know is apparently the dude is either the richest man in India or one of the richest men in India. Okay. I mean, you have to be. Because Beyonce ain't running no Black Friday special on private weddings.
She just had the most successful tour in the country. She
probably got 2 or 3 million for that. But
I just gotta think what about it makes you big enough for her to? Because she's not doing it for the money. I don't feel like she's.
What do you think she's doing it for?
But she's
a free trip to India.
She's a billionaire.
She got kids. People with kids still got to do stuff.
When you're a billionaire,
she's buying diapers just like me and you.
But
Sir and Rumi is pooping in them Pampers.
But how did he even get the contact information to be like, hey, I want you to perform at my...
That I have no... And that's my thing.
Right. I would think this was like a personal favor to somebody.
I don't think they knew each other. I think he must have hit her agent at CAA, and for it to get their attention...
And then for them to pay it, and then for them to...
It had to be name your price. It had to be name... Would you do it for $5 million?
And then she was just like, I'll do it for this.
Bro, because to get Beyonce's attention, okay?
To even get past all the handlers and the talk.
Beyonce performed at the BET Awards and leave immediately.
Yeah.
She flew from London. I talked to a producer who produced the BET Awards that year. Mm-hmm. She flew from London, got off the plane, walked on stage, no rehearsal, performed, walked back off stage, went back to her plane, went back to Europe.
Wow. Well, you said London the first time, but...
It was London.
London's in Europe?
Now that's the ratchet. Okay?
But I feel like that's I feel like that's an unsurmountable amount of pressure for that marriage to work.
That's what I said.
If you got Beyonce singing at your wedding, you better not mess up
the rip. If I'm your dad, baby girl, let me tell you what, make it work. I want to hear nothing about no divorce.
And that's a wedding, like you almost want to be able to advertise that she's performing there, because then everybody's showing up to that wedding.
That wedding got to be ticketed.
Has to.
VIP, but that's the thing. If you got that type of money, you don't want regular people coming in.
You don't know. You can't have the...
Can you imagine your homeboy being like, oh yeah, by the way, Beyonce is
That would just be crazy.
That's stupid amount of money. And you know what I thought about? For that amount of money, they could have got Ja Rule to perform indefinitely.
He could have did his whole...
Ja Rule...
He would have had a residency in India for the next 3 years.
Ja Rule would have been living at their house making omelets. The way you walk, the way you talk. I'm real. Y'all want peppers? Peppers, pick it up. I'm real. I got Ashanti. Ashanti coming out. She got blueberry muffins. For what they paid Beyonce, Ja Rule's still performing in 2021.
Off the rip.
He's still there right
pull
now.
up.
I'm you know that toilet plugged on the second floor. I'm gonna take care of that.
I'm gonna cut the grass.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make some couscous.
Yeah,
sushi.
cool.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take the baby to school. Y'all need anything from the store? I'm gonna just be chilling here, bro.
I still think that I guess I feel like when you've made as much money as I'm assuming that Beyonce and her husband have made, that $2 million ain't gonna get me out of bed. I just don't like.
That's what I'm saying. It probably.
Well,
was
maybe that's why she risked like that. And
well, she had a little band. She had dancers. Like at that stage of your career, first of all, if you can get Beyonce to perform for you at this stage in your career, you can get anyone.
Yeah.
You can get the biggest country star. You can get whoever's big.
You can get him there.
Yeah, because I know people don't be liking Beyonce. Imagine this is Toby Keith or whoever.
Who don't like Beyonce?
Lots of people.
What?
Yeah, they don't be liking Beyonce.
Let me find out.
But you got to understand that if you have Beyonce coming by the crib.
For Beyonce just coming to your like that's just.
You know what? I honestly do. I just thought about that.
That's just.
I think the dad is really just stunting.
That has to be it.
Because what can you do if that's my daughter and I hit you with the dough?
Right.
Got Beyonce for baby girl. What could you possibly do for your daughter that's going to top that?
Nothing.
Who else could you book?
Jesus. Nobody else is coming up to that. Like there's nobody that had to be a flex.
Had to be dad like baby.
And
girl,
it can't be that. Yo, I always wanted whenever my child got married that they can get Beyonce because you never even thought you could. You just had the money. You was like, who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite? Who's the person that you think I can get?
Spit.
He came to her.
That had to
like,
be a flex.
Baby girl, let me let you know what daddy got.
I still want to know just how that whole situation went down because that's still Beyonce.
5 to 10 million is my guess. Because you know what she's getting on a tour now. And she probably did a limited set, 20 minutes.
2 million.
India, she had the clothes on. Bro, for whatever they gave her, I'll put the clothes on.
I'll put it on. I'm sorry.
I'll make some naan, some chicken tikka masala. If that's me, because I don't know if you know this, I was listening to Breakfast Club one time, and Russell Peters was saying that he performed a private event for some Saudi princes. Okay? 20 minutes, $250,000 wired for the dude and 10 people. He said the worst part about it was performing for 10 people. But
the best part about it has to be cashing a $250,000 check.
So he hit his manager and it was like, how much would it cost? And his manager was like, let me give him a number today. We'll just be like, all right, you tripping. He was like, $250K. He was like, done. So the manager was like, I should have said 500.
If they don't even blink at 250, you could have got 5 in the TIS negotiations.
He was gonna give you up to 750. He was like, no problem.
That's probably what happened with Beyonce's people.
That's what I'm saying.
We wanted to perform at the birthday. Now how much you gonna pay her? $2 million. All right, done.
10. I said 10. No problem. I thought I heard 2. Nah, it was 10. All right, cool.
Either way, it makes no difference.
The plane's on, because at that point you got a private jet. It's on the way for you.
They pulling up. That's just.
What's the number for you right now to perform at a private wedding?
I'll probably do it for 150. 150 and some wings. But I'm not budging on the wings. You understand me? If I come and they got 200 and ain't no wings, I'm leaving. I told you what I needed. You didn't have it for me. You don't respect me as an artist. If Beyonce can get 2 million, I can get wings.
What kind of wings?
Honey barbecue. Chipotle barbecue. And it's lit. They be like, how many? You just better guess that you're right. Because if you don't have enough, you ain't getting enough jokes.
My man said you can skip on the money, but the wings better be right.
You better have it. Because I got principles that I stand upon.
The writer got wings first. Before you talk about the bread.
Money. Sauces. I got principles. Speaking of principles and morals and not bending upon things that you stand upon.
Yes.
Kevin Hart. Let's talk about it. Kevin Hart.
There's so much to
unpack here. Let's unpack it first.
Let the people know who have no idea what happened.
Kevin Hart was slated to host the 2019 Oscars. Mm-hmm. It's Oscars, right?
Yep.
So the Oscar committee came to him and said, hey, you said some crazy stuff in some tweets back in 2009, 2010. Can you apologize? He's already addressed this before. He's already apologized for it. And basically the tweets were something along the lines of, if I had any say-so over it, my kids wouldn't be gay. Something to that effect.
Yeah, he said,
right.
Well, he said...
Let's quote it right so we don't
it was if my son was gay, I'd hit him over the head with a dollhouse,
right?
Something like that. And then he also used the F word, not friend or funny.
Oh.
And he was talking to his friends, like insulting people on Twitter with that word.
With that word.
Yes.
In 2010.
2009, I think it was 9-10.
Okay,
early
he's
Twitter.
Okay. So yeah, you never want to use those type of words to describe people.
No, absolutely.
But
not.
So apparently he had apologized and already spoken about this. Publicly.
Now, did you hear that apology?
His apology for that?
Before, yeah.
I didn't.
I never.
But social media wasn't what it was back then either, though. 2009,
True.
2010, we didn't.
I don't remember knowing this.
I never heard about it until now.
Me neither.
But apparently, push came to shove, and they said, "Yo, go back and apologize for that stuff you said." He was like, "No, I've already apologized for it." They're like, "Well, you're gonna apologize." He was like, "Okay, well then no."
Or we're gonna have to find
we're gonna
host.
find another host. He said, "We'll go find another host." So.
And then he apologized for it.
And so that's where it's a lot to unpack. First of all,
I'm not gonna apologize for nothing, and you can find another host. Matter of fact, I quit and I'm sorry.
You could have just apologized and kept your gig. I guess that's why I'm confused. Like this I would have rather you not.
Me apologize? Absolutely not. I quit. I apologize to them.
I am sorry.
Gay people, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm trying to be a better person, and I stand my ground by apologizing and quitting. They threw him for a loop.
I was just confused, like, bro. So let's just talk about it. Let's just, like you said, unpack it. First off, should entertainers be held, especially comedians, be held over the fire about things that they said on social media?
Here's the thing.
Because that's a big thing.
There's a lot of this, I want to say. Because a lot of times as comedians, it's a joke, it's a joke.
Right.
Now, when Michael Richards from Seinfeld was on stage.
We got him out of there.
Okay? He was telling jokes. He had the it's a joke thing, and we was like, nah.
He said a bunch of N-bombs.
Okay.
And he ain't been the same since.
Here's the thing. What he's accused of, those tweets weren't the son thing was a joke.
Right.
But the other him using the F word, that was not there was no
punchline to that.
tag
No
to that.
boom boom.
Yeah, it was just inappropriate
hurtful dialogue.
Slur, right? Here's the thing about one of the things about this that's interesting to me. There's two ways to approach what Kevin Hart said. Okay, because we have the old tweets cancel culture very prevalent. It's very simple to either apologize and move on, or say I'm not apologizing. I stand by what I said. Right. You can't
be in the middle of the fence.
That's what was confusing. Like I stand by what I said and I'm apologizing. Then it's like because you had a lot of the people like he really couldn't win, by the way.
There was no way to win that.
And here's the thing, honestly though, before we unpack him, y'all, I got dreams. Okay, go through my tweets right now. If you love me, find some old stuff and let me get my apology out the way now. I don't want to.
Have you said some stuff that you would?
Nothing like that.
Right.
And honestly, I don't know.
I used to drink a lot, and I used to be Twitter fingers.
You might want to go.
I do sweeps every now and again.
Do
like,
you?
Yeah, I'd be like, and I had said some things. I was like, boop.
The thing is, you have to go. You can't even Twitter. You can only go back so far. So people have to search your name and the word to find the tweets now.
Jeez.
And people are I feel like people just have them locked and loaded and ready to go.
And they just wait for the moment you think you're going to do something.
Once you get to a point where they're like, oh, the Oscars?
Screenshot.
Bow. Nope.
I feel conflicted about it. I feel,
as a comedian yourself.
As a comedian that can tell jokes, it's like you almost love us and hate us for the same reason. You love us because we can be brutally honest and talk about dark things and make them funny. And then you hate us because we can be brutally honest and talk about things and make them funny. Yeah. Now, do I feel like there are certain lines that you shouldn't cross? Like when you're talking about a certain group of demographic of people? Yeah, there's obviously like, certain people shouldn't say the N-word. You shouldn't say the F-word. You shouldn't say those things. But I also feel like we have to stop.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to stop you right there for comedians.
Okay.
Rush Hour 1.
Okay.
Jackie Chan. What's up, man? Nigga?
He said it.
Black people, we loved it.
We loved it.
Why was that okay and what Michael Richards did not okay?
Because I think we want to be able to control the narrative. We look at it like you're in a movie, you're in it with Chris Tucker, we approve of Chris Tucker, you're playing in the field of this is a joke in the game, so it's like you're saying this with me, not at me.
So what you're saying is the funny trumps offensive.
Fun, that's always our slogan. Funny always trumps.
Because I've seen some Louis C.K., also a terrible person. He had some dicey, dark jokes that
he says the N-word.
Yeah.
And some stuff.
And I was
and people inexplicably let him ride with it.
Because it was a well-crafted
It was
joke.
a funny joke.
And
it was
that's
just
the
like,
other thing. As a comedian on social media who puts out a video every single day.
I'm proud of you for that too. Shout out to the real comedians of social media on tour. Get your tickets now.
No video can be made without offending somebody.
Absolutely.
Okay? The video that makes you laugh makes somebody else cry. Everybody's pastor is funny when they're doing something until it's your pastor doing it. Then it's how dare you touch my man of God. Parents do stuff. Everything that makes you laugh makes somebody else cry. So I offend somebody every day.
Right.
The people you cannot offend right now, LGBT community.
I don't think you could ever really.
No. Absolutely.
Yeah, because back in the day.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you another joke.
Okay.
No. Bernie Mac, Kings of Comedy.
Yes.
I want some milk and cookies. He says the F word in that all through it. And I didn't even remember that. And that's what I was tripping about at that time, which was the early 2000s. That didn't even cross me as offensive.
Yeah, because people still were getting away with a lot.
He was, I mean...
Oh, if you go back and listen to Eddie Murphy Raw or Delirious, whoo!
Bro, you listen to...
It's awful.
There's some stuff.
It's there.
And at that time, that didn't even... Bernie Mac's bit, that whole set... And somebody posted that on Twitter, like, back in the time when comedy was safe. Bernie Mac was not going...
Back down from that.
No. And he got a complete pass, but... If Bernie Mac did that set, rest in peace, one of the greats, would he get away with that same set today?
I think he would because of who
saying
he is.
It exactly the way. Have you seen it in a while?
I have not seen it in a while, but I remember the joke.
He called him the F word, and me and my wife.
No, I think not today. I don't think anybody can say
I think
it now.
some of those jokes could work because it's his son. Actually, nah, he would be getting canceled left and right.
Yeah, he absolutely would. I mean, just look at, and this is the thing that so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. This is where I feel like we hold celebrities and entertainers to almost an unrealistic level of expectation as far as making mistakes. As far as with the Roseanne thing, she called the lady, said she's like a gorilla. Remember she said the...
Got it.
Right?
There's so much
now,
happening.
mind you, if it, like we always say, funny, Trump's offensive, it was a funny joke.
Oh, is that how you feel?
I felt like it was funny.
And
but,
there's the ratchet.
Okay, I felt like it was funny. But even if it's not funny and it is offensive... Do we need to cancel her show? Do all the people that work on that show need to not have a job?
That's the thing.
Because she had a lapse in judgment?
There's what people are calling cancel culture.
Right. I don't like cancel culture.
Cancel culture is you say one thing wrong enough, everything you've done is gone. Now, the thing about Roseanne, because I think there's other people who say stuff and get away with it. She had a history of pushing the line with that type of stuff.
The national anthem back in the day.
Even more recently. But calling a black woman a gorilla.
That is a lot.
Because you got to understand.
But see, but let me play devil's advocate for you for 2 seconds.
Okay.
What if I make that joke about a black
As a black man?
Yeah, I'm just like,
thing.
So if I say, you old monkey looking, I feel like if a black comedian said that, they would not have gotten nearly as much flack.
Yeah, the same thing as a black person says the N-word and a white person says it.
But I feel like we at some point got to get over those gray areas because you're playing with people's livelihoods.
Life is a gray area. Context matters in everything. If you're ABC and people are hitting up your sponsors and they're like, I'm not advertising on your show. You got to remember, people don't cancel things because they're upset.
Right.
You cancel stuff because you're messing with my money.
So that's what everything boils down to is the almighty.
ABC looks at this show. Advertisers are pulling out. You bet. If I can't get paid off of it, it's too expensive to just do. It makes no sense to even
stay in business with you. You're bad for business.
Bad for business. I don't care if you, if I like you or not.
Right.
If you are costing me money, same thing with the Oscars. Now you got people because it wasn't a huge amount of people, but there was enough people who were very loud. Now the Oscars is going to have a big cloud over it.
And they already have enough of an uphill battle with
the ratings and people not caring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So do I even want the headache? Is what the person who's the producers are saying.
But let me ask you this though. Okay, let me ask you 2 questions, then we can move on to the next thing. So for one, do you feel like he was right in leaving? Was that the right thing to do?
For him to step down?
To say, I'm not going to do this. I feel like because especially if you're going to apologize, you should have just stayed.
I don't know, because it's hard for me to decide what matters to somebody else.
Right.
Because I don't know why maybe he won't. I mean, honestly, if I were him, I wouldn't want to host it in no uproar.
Right.
Like I don't want social. Because
nobody wants that
internet
type of energy.
This is what I don't like about cancel culture. People who don't even know about something. Oh, people are mad about something?
Sheep mentality.
What are we mad about?
Right.
I'm mad. I'm up in arms.
Right.
What are we up in arms about? I'm up in
I
arms.
too feel offended. Right.
Right. If you and people just love to be mad.
Right.
So
and they love to just kind of sing with the choir.
And we just be moving on to stuff. So we were going to do this video today, and Kevin Hart was going to be our lead, right? So look at us talking about stuff. We want people to watch this video. He got bumped because of Jacquees and Beyonce.
The self-proclaimed king of R&B.
48 hours. This has all happened in less than a week, mind you.
We live in a society where it moves so
if you
quickly.
if you can stand something for 2 weeks, the news cycle moves so fast.
They'll just be
Jacquees won't even be something we're talking about. Today's Monday. By Wednesday, who cares? It dominated the timeline today. Nobody's gonna care tomorrow.
We're on to the next thing.
Or Wednesday. Same thing with Kevin Hart. Like now that he's done something, it's gonna move on. So if you're asking me, I think you should apologize if you feel like if you are wrong.
So put yourself in a position. You're in that position. You said some things in your past, but you've already addressed it. Do you just say, okay, you don't remember me addressing, so I'm gonna address it again, or do you just say, nah, you know what, I'm leaving here? Like,
nah, I think if you are truly sorry and remorseful and want to change, you understand that if I hurt you or something I said hurt you, apologizing, true apologies happen in time. Right.
By actions too.
By actions, I apologize. I know I've said this before, but I just want to reiterate, I am not that person. These tweets resurface. Yes, I said those things. I whatever those things are for you, right? I said those things. I'm not that person anymore.
And you can even follow up, but I've apologized before, but I'll apologize.
And I can
again.
never
Apologize
apologize enough for what I said.
But he didn't do that.
No.
So I kind of feel like he kind of took the, I don't want to say the easy way out.
No. I think the easiest thing to say is he probably mishandled this.
Right.
And that's same thing with LeBron James. Love him. He mishandled the decision. The best way to go about it is on the bottom of the ticker, right? You're allowed to mishandle. The thing that people forget is whether you're a celebrity or not, you're just a person.
We're all people.
People get in their feelings.
All the time.
He probably saw that and was frustrated and was like, man, I'm sick of saying all this. And it was really the apology video that he said was more like, oh, he just don't care. And then people was all off on that.
And then people are gauging to see if you really mean it. Like, I see that sometimes when people and celebrities will apologize. They're like, he didn't really seem sincere. How can you gauge somebody's sincerity?
They were mad at Diddy for making a video after his baby's mom passed. He was like, daddy duty, I'm trying to get after it. Or you just posting videos like, how are you going to tell somebody?
What is how to mourn? Like, that's...
Tell somebody how to grieve. Like, you got to do whatever you think is best for yourself.
I feel like we just live in a world that's so much different than any world we've ever lived in.
That's all.
And I feel like stars are so under microscope. That was going to be the last question I asked about him, and then we can move on.
I wanted to say something else about this.
Say something else about this.
Cancel culture, I believe, is going to lose its sting if it happens to every single person. Because I'm going to tell you, in the last, Brother Nature, the guy who loves the animals.
Oh, Jesus.
He had
for something that he said when he was a kid, right?
He was like 12 years old. He said some Nazi stuff. He actually had a perfect apology. Like Kevin Hart could have. I was 12 years old. I was looking for attention. I was saying things to get a rise out of people. I just said whatever I thought people would say. I'm older now and wiser. I realize my words have impact. I apologize to those people who have affected. Moving forward, I know not to make those mistakes again, and I hope to be a better person. He like 19.
And they still canceled him.
No.
Oh, he's good?
The right apology.
Oh, so they went with it.
Oh, right apology. He was right back to feeding giraffes in Africa. Absolutely right back. If you have the right, that's my apology, by the way.
Drake did have an apology about the blackface, and we skimmed right past it.
What did he say?
Remember, he was like, I was doing a project, and remember he did it in the notes of his phone?
Yeah.
And we were just like...
By the way, Apple iOS Notes is not a press conference.
No.
Celebrities and the Notes app, boy, let me tell you, it's too late to apologize. If you go here on the Notes app...
Something has gone awfully wrong.
If you ever see me in Scandal, you come by the house and I got the Notes app up.
I'm just leaving. Like,
you
ain't getting out of this.
It's
they got you now.
Bad. So he got canceled.
Okay.
Then Nick Cannon brought up Amy Schumer,
Shout out to Nick Cannon.
Sarah Silverman, and Chelsea Handler. They all use the same word that Kevin Hart used, and Nick Cannon's point was they didn't seem to get canceled the way Kevin Hart does.
And what was everybody's response to that?
Most of the people in my timeline, I hadn't seen their tweets either, but most people were like, man, everybody hates them anyway. Like, everybody hates Amy Schumer.
But they're not getting forced to apologize or have their job stripped from them.
No. I saw an interesting tweet, and I don't know how white women are going to feel about this. It was actually about the Kareem Hunt NFL thing. Ooh. And the guy was like, so apparently this woman had called him the N-word, spit on him, and he hit her.
Oh, Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt,
yeah.
And this one random tweeter was like, under no circumstances should you ever hit a woman. Mm-hmm. She was wrong, but white women in America are very rarely held accountable for their actions. But Kareem Hunt should have also knew better.
True.
And that was like, you're absolutely right.
The way you frame things up can mean everything.
Absolutely.
That makes absolutely perfect. But even to that, like, I mean, I know that's a subject to talk about, but it's like his career is over now. Like, I guess
but my thing is, if you have a lapse in judgment like that.
Should it cost you your career, though?
You know, Shannon Sharp had an interesting point about that. He was saying, the interesting thing about, he wasn't saying right or wrong, whether Kareem Hunt should lose his career or not. But what he's saying was, why are we holding athletes to a higher standard than other people?
That's the only thing
Because doctors have domestic violence, firefighters, police.
You don't lose your whole job.
Why are we expecting more out of professional athletes than out of doctors? And I think it's because they are rich. And they are in the forefront. So when you're a celebrity, I'm giving you my money to be entertained, you better be acting right. I don't know what my doctor does I don't know his charges. He's not famous. He's not on TMZ. So I don't know that people care or don't care. We just know.
So is that just occupational hazard? That's just one of the things that come along with being rich and famous, that you have to almost...
Look at LeBron James. Okay. If LeBron James was the world's greatest surgeon in Cleveland, and a hospital in Miami was like, we gonna pay you 3 times that, and he leaves his hospital in Cleveland and goes to Miami,
they're not gonna be burning his stethoscope.
Burning the white jacket. Nobody. And why do we even care?
I think it's
man. Basically, we got mad at him for leaving his job and going to a new job that he had a better chance for more money.
And to be in a better team.
A better job.
You know how many times we have thought that?
Kevin Durant. I want to go do my job somewhere else now. Who would be mad at anyone for leaving Oklahoma City to move to San Francisco?
Or even the athletes that say something like, you should give them a hometown discount. Like, this is not what this game is.
I ain't give Bank of America no hometown. First of all, I'm not from here.
Money.
Kevin Durant is from Maryland. I'm not from Oklahoma City.
That's what I'm just
saying. Ain't no hometown. I got a limited amount of time to make a lot of money.
I'm gonna
pay me
and build my legacy. So I feel like that's the overall theme, is that we hold people in a public view differently than we hold ourselves.
Absolutely. So Kyler Murray, quarterback.
So he's a quarterback.
Quarterback at Oklahoma. Okay. He won the Heisman.
Okay.
Yeah, he's apologizing for, I think he called his friend queer. And he was like, mind you, this kid is like 19. When he was like, I was like 14 at the time. Because here's the other thing. You got people growing up with social media. The internet is forever. But
this is what I'm going to ask you. How scary is that the world we live in, somebody ain't even going to say nothing about what you did wrong until you win? How we didn't hear about these tweets until he won the Heisman?
That's why I want y'all to go through my tweets now. Because I want to win an Oscar. I want to host the Oscars. I want to do stuff. Get me out of the way early so I can have a sincere apology. Because I'm going to be sincere. Yeah. If anything, I am. Let me tell you guys.
And I used to drink a lot. I don't drink anymore. So shout out to...
so sorry for who I was then. Because I'm not that man today. I'm better.
Did you just hit him with the Obama thing?
Once you go... That's all politicians. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
They do.
Lying through his teeth. All it was a little sex.
And just twist that finger like that?
I'm ready to apologize. I want to have dreams. I want to move on. So Kyler Murray's was kind of swept under the rug because like 3 people were getting canceled at the time. So it kind of loses its ability if you use it on everybody.
Right.
It's like, oh, when this happens, check your tweets. Delete. Now, I don't know if you knew this. Now record labels, when they sign somebody, they hire PR teams to go through their tweets, their digital profile, and scrub stuff out. Anything that can be deemed offensive,
Really?
Yes. When you are tracking to be famous, go ahead and scrub that all out. I don't want to see. I don't want to have no. Matter of fact, delete your Twitter. Start
so back
over.
in the day when you would get mad at Popeye's Chicken for shorting you on your biscuits and you was cussing them out using slurs, that might come up to go against you, man. Go squeeze and clean your tweets. Let me ask about this, and then we can go on to our question segment. So one more topic that I want to talk about. This is just something that I personally want to talk about. I went on a little rant about today, and I just want to get your views since we're kind of talking about all like the same thing. Are we still done with the NFL?
I personally am.
Why? But this.
Don't try to get me on your side.
No. I'm gonna get you on my side.
Don't try to get me on your side.
I think we forgot that we really love. And this is okay. And I don't want to make fun of a serious topic, so I'll say it like this. I understand that there was reasons that people were upset. Colin Kaepernick standing up for police brutality. None of those are laughing matters. At the same time, Colin Kaepernick has been out of the league for almost 2 years. At this point.
And so has Josh Brown or Josh Johnson, Mark Sanchez. There's all types of quarterbacks that had not been playing that are getting looks that are nowhere near as talented as Colin Kaepernick.
Got it. But why are we still boycotting the league now, though?
What do you mean?
We're like, there's still people
me
like,
personally.
Yeah, why do you still
I'll
not
tell
want
you
to
why
watch
I
it?
personally. First of all, for me, it's more than the kneeling. Okay. I started to sour on the NFL when I realized they were covering up the head injury
stuff.
That was the first thing to drop for me. I was like, man, this league really doesn't care about the well-being of their players.
Right.
Like, not only they try to cover it up, there's stuff that can be done, and they're just like, we're just going no guaranteed contracts. It's like it's built to be next man up.
So it wasn't just one thing for you.
No, it was first thing was the player safety. Bro, people were killing themselves.
Yeah.
Junior Seau, personally, he was the one that I watched like a good portion of his career. All types of players killing themselves, popular and not, for years before any of the police brutality stuff.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. Second thing was the domestic violence stuff. And like, bro, Greg Hardy beat his girlfriend up, threw her on a bed of guns.
Edit that out. I'm sorry. I didn't even laugh, but who just throws?
No, it's not.
Who has a bed of guns to throw anybody on?
It's you laugh because it's so
ridiculous. Right.
And he went, and the Cowboys were like,
Come
oh,
on,
yeah.
tackle that guy.
Can you tackle the quarterback?
Right.
So there was, Josh Brown was beating up his kicker, was just beating up his wife. And the coaches knew. They were just like, we ain't really going to say nothing about that. Just keep that on the hush.
Right.
So that's when I really went, when I kind of soured on it.
Because I know you used to, because for people that don't know, we've been friends for a while now, so we used to talk about football all the time. You used to be really into fantasy football.
Fantasy football, NFL Sunday.
You used to get the NFL tickets so you can watch the Seahawks.
And
now you just don't even talk about it.
I don't watch nothing. Now, let me be honest.
Okay, I do. I ain't gonna hold you.
Sometimes when I'm at the gym, highlights come. I'm not looking, but
did you see that play yesterday with the Dolphins and the Patriots? The last play?
Maybe the highlight came. Wow. Maybe I saw.
That's
why was Gronk playing safety?
Did you see?
First of all,
he put Gronk on some skates. Gronk was like, I don't know what the.
You know what I realized though, when you try to boycott the NFL or try to avoid it, because of social media, things are nearly impossible to avoid.
You can't get away from it.
If I'm not turning my TV on, that's one thing. It's on at the gym. It's retweeted on my timeline on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's everywhere.
Right. So you're going to see it or hear about it.
You're going to see it. But what I have decided to do, I'm not paying for Sunday ticket because I was going out of my way to pay for that.
I was paying for Sunday brisket.
And you notice I haven't made fun of him at all. I haven't thought of nothing funny. That's the only, I'm not saying I'm better than him. No jokes have been forming. But I'm not going out of my way
to watch it. But see, this is what I came to the conclusion of. Because I was like, yeah, man, because, I be trying to be woke.
Well, one more thing before I'm going to tell you one more thing.
Tell me one more thing.
I grew up playing football. I'm sure you did as well.
It was trash.
I was.
I know you wasn't good.
For sure. I was actually okay in Little League. But by high school, I was like, it's not for me. And they were letting me play without a helmet because of everything. Like, man, everybody else.
And you were still hitting people too hard. They were like, look, unnecessary roughness, the kid with no helmet. He gave a guy a concussion. Like,
well, I realized I wasn't going to let my kids play.
Right. That's dangerous.
I was like, I remember when we moved here, the guy was like, because Zay was running track, he was like, man, your kid's really fast. You want to bring him out to football? And I was just like, you ain't finna knock my baby's head inside out.
But see, this is where I came to the point of it. Because, literally yesterday, Sunday, I was sitting there like, man, because I would try to relax and decompress on the weekend. I was just sitting there like, I wanted to watch it, but I was like, nah, man, I can't. Then I was just like, but I just feel like there should be some timelines and parameters on stuff that we boycott. Like, how long? Are we just supposed to not watch it forever?
That's the thing. You do what's right for you.
But you never gonna watch it again?
I didn't say that.
But honestly, when will it come to a point where you're like, all right, my point's been made?
It ain't even that though. Honestly, after this season, I realized I have lost interest.
See?
And that is, it
happens. It have that effect.
I've just lost interest. Like now, what I've been thinking about is when Super Bowl Sunday comes.
What are you gonna do?
How much of a man can I almost had a show, but I was like, whether I feel about one way about the NFL or not.
Right.
People still gonna be at the Super Bowl parties.
How you not?
They're like, Kev, nah, man, we
gonna be out
here. I
here.
perform on Super Bowl Sunday a lot, and people be like, why are you here? And this year I was like, I don't want to be in that position.
Now you're just gonna be making Super Bowls of ice cream, Super Bowls of chili and cereal.
You just want to watch it. And you want everybody to be okay with you.
Absolutely.
Why do you need somebody's approval?
Because I want to be type woke. But when I was like, I can't be woke, I was like, I just be sleeping. Because Look, I'm 39, bro. I've been watching football my whole life. Like, I can't just go find something else to do on Sunday. What I'm supposed to do? Okay, let's go to the question.
Make a bib.
Knits. All right, so we're going to do a couple questions.
Doughboy's going to give us some advice every episode, but since this is our first one back, we're going to ask a question from 6 black chicks. Maybe have some crazy questions. Right. Where should they send the questions to you?
You can send the questions to me at IamDoughboyTV@gmail.com. I am Doughboy, that's DOBOY TV @gmail.com.
Where was your mind at when you came up with that email address?
Because I created a YouTube station that says I am Doughboy TV. So this is where you can.
Why ain't you? What's the TV? Oh, that was your channel.
Leave me alone. So basically, y'all put in the comments. Actually, put in the comments of this video.
Yep, you can
what
ask your
questions you want for the next one. But okay, the question is this: money is tight. Mm-hmm. I work at Walmart, and Bay, dated for 3 years, doesn't work at all. An older man with money came to my store, and things popped off. I have questions with that statement, but okay, let's keep going. After sex, what? He paid our rent, etc. I felt bad and confessed. Boyfriend says, "You good? I know more dudes you can meet." What would you do?
I'm assuming she didn't think that was going to be his response.
First of all, how did an old man coming to your store lead to the next thing? Well, things popped off. Like, first of all, you work at Walmart. Not that there's anything wrong with working with Walmart, but what is a man going to say to you at Walmart to the next thing is sex? Hey, yo, do you guys have kibbles and bits? Hey, like, how does that... I just don't know how you get from one point to the other. Like,
that's some connective tissue we're missing.
You missed a lot. So this old man showed up. Next thing, I'm in the throes of passion. Why are you in the throes of passion with a stranger? And you got a whole boyfriend. But getting back to the topic at hand.
That's a serious conversation to have at Walmart.
So then you go and you admit it. Mind you, you're never supposed to admit when you cheat. If you cheat, just take it to the grave with you. There's nothing good that's going to come from it.
Why?
What good is going to come from it?
I feel like it'll be off your chest.
No, because you be cheating on your diet and then you tell the truth. But when people cheat on their spouse, there's different sets of consequences. Honey, I ate a hot fudge sundae. Oh, Kevin, I know.
I was eating Big Bang last night like, you deserve this, honestly.
You've been working out. You've been on the Stairmaster. You don't hold on the whole time. You're greedy. So what should she do? First of all, what this woman needs to do is understand you're dating a pimp. That is the only logical explanation for you. If you come and tell your man that you slept with a guy, he paid all the bills,
and his response is,
I know some people. First of all, why does he know people that are buying sex?
And why not make care that's your girlfriend?
And then you just gonna be like, yeah, man, go get that. And then she just gonna come all back, and you, oh yeah, that's so.
This is hustle and flow too.
First of all, what you should do is, first of all, stop cheating. You shouldn't have cheated on your dudes, or you shouldn't be in a relationship where you're cheating anyway. Second off, if your boyfriend responds when he knows some dudes and he can introduce you to them, he looks at you as something different than his girlfriend.
Obviously, he has, and he didn't just start thinking about her like that. He's felt a way.
And you better believe there's other women that he knows that he's introducing to these other people in the dark secret society of the life that he's living. How do you not know your dude is into
I
got more questions than answers.
So her answer is what? What does she do?
You
gotta give Dear Doughboy. What does she do?
Dear Doughboy, what do you do? You break up with him and you find yourself. That's what you do. That's just first off. You got to figure out, first of all, why are you in a relationship if you're going to be cheating? Why is money going to change the way that you treat your man? Because I know I would, if me and my woman was broke and I wasn't working at the time and her solution was to go have sex with somebody and then tell me after the fact, we can't fix that. No. There's nothing that we can fix about. So I think what this woman should do is maybe do some soul searching, and because you don't want to first of all be in relationships where you're cheating.
You be doing soul food searching. I wasn't gonna let this whole episode go without me getting nothing in. Shoot, I'm trying to have a vodka
Mogs into. So that's what I would say she do. First of all, find yourself and find out why you're acting like that, because hurt people, and then go from there. What would you tell her to do?
They gotta break up. That's not a relationship.
That's about to be a
first
different
of all,
type of relationship.
The key here that you didn't mention, he doesn't work at all.
Now, that's a big thing.
That he can do so that I can remain in this home without working. If you want to have a little sex, I'm not going to stop.
Who am I to stop you? I'm here
Because if we
asleep.
break up, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
And neither of us want that. No, I do. You don't. I'm not a great employee.
So
if you got to have a little sex.
If you're dating, so take yourself out of, your marriage. So if you're dating and your girlfriend comes home and you want to just keep being lazy, you taking that L?
Yeah. I'm that guy.
That's honest, yeah.
This guy doesn't want to work. He just wants to play the game.
He's already cool with his woman being the breadwinner. She working at Walmart.
He's decided that shelter is more important than a great relationship.
Absolutely.
And men, women, you deserve more than that. You deserve it.
You do.
But no, honestly, I there's no way my girl can come back and say I had sex with somebody else. And
no.
And I'm like, no problem.
There's nothing.
How much did he give us? That was his answer.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, he broke bread. She said he paid rent, etc.
No, I didn't know the etc. was in there.
That's a lot.
What was he doing at Walmart then? Efficient. People with money are efficient.
I just want to know how she went from an older man came in, things popped off. I want to know more about that. But we'll get into that next time. Look, we want to thank y'all for watching the first episode in the reboot of Righteous and
Ratchet is back!
We're back. We're going to try to build this thing up from the bottom. You can check us out every week. Let us know.
Facebook and YouTube.
All those
things.
Ain't
no iTunes. Ain't no SoundCloud. You know why? Because they don't pay.
So we're going to start it off
YouTube at least
here.
give us a little something for our troubles.
You feel me? Righteous and Ratchet is the podcast. I have been your boy, Doughboy.
Vodcast.
Video
podcast. I'm trying to make that a thing.
Okay. So this is the Vodcast. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and we will be back next week. Hop in the comments, let us know what you thought.
Email Doughboy at IamDoughboyTV with your Dear Doughboy questions, and we'll answer them on air. Yeah, anonymously.
Yours is Kev on TV dinner. Okay, sorry. I can't hit them all.